Alright, hello everyone, this is Venom, and today we're back with some more Dragon's Dogma 2 tips and tricks. I've got a few tips and tricks for you based off of my own playthrough. I've gone through and I've played and kind of figured out some of the harder things I've had trouble with. There's some things I've had issues with, and some aspects I didn't even really think about that I found some solutions to that I think you're going to really enjoy. So, we're going to start off with the spoiler warning. Obviously, assume any tips and tricks video I put out is going to have some spoilers. I'll try not to spoil too much. But, just the nature of the beast, sometimes some things are going to be spoiled. I will try to keep that to a minimum. However, the first thing we're going to talk about is going to be a bit of a spoiler if you're not aware this exists. And that is going to be, we are actually in the Elven Village, the Sacred Arbor. And if you have been here before, you know when you first get here, you are not going to understand anything anybody is saying unless you happen to have a pawn with you that, can speak Elvish. Well, you can actually learn to speak Elvish yourself, or at least to teach your pawn to speak Elvish. And to do so, you actually need to go to the inn elf right there. Lady here runs the inn. Now, what you do is you actually give her flower bouquets. You wait 24 hours, you wait on a bench outside. You wait, give her another flower bouquets. After 3 bouquets, she will actually give you the scroll that actually teaches your pawn how to speak Elvish. However, some people don't know how to get the flower bouquets. I'm going to show you how to get them easily without having to leave the arbor. So what you actually need are basically just 2 different kinds of flowers, and you can combine them together. Now you can see where I'm at. Here's the center of the arbor right here. I got my port crystal here. You can actually see the inn is that way. There are actually 4 flowers over here you can pick. And there are going to be flowers right outside the arbor you can pick to combine to make those bouquets. So here we go. Gather them right here. We got these sunflowers. Again, we got all of our sunflowers. Now we're going to go ahead and run outside. Alright, now these are going to be a lot easier to see at night, but you've actually got moonflowers right outside here. There you go, we got moon blooms out here. Now at night, these things actually glow. You're going to see them very clearly. We can go ahead and pick them up. And then, even without the recipe, you can go ahead and combine them. So go ahead and combine. Choose the sunblooms. There is the moonglow, and bam, bunch of flowers. I can create 4 of them. You only need 3 to learn Elvish. So I'm going to show you how to do this. We got our bunches of flowers, so we're going to go back to our inn. Whatever you're selling, lady, I ain't buying it. Alright, so we actually open her up, and you see there we got the give gift option. We're going to go to give gift. We're going to give her a bunch of flowers, just a single one. Then we're going to just go right outside. You can choose to save on her if you want to, but I like to save the gold, and I don't want to make a hard save right now. Instead, we're going to come out to the bench here, and we're just going to wait for 24 hours, so we're going to keep dozing off. We're going to go to her again. Go to give gift. One more bunch of flowers. Alright, back out. Give her a gift of flowers. And there you go. She's going to give you the Woodland Wordsmith Tome. Again, that's just going to actually let you be able to teach your pawn how to speak Elvish. That's how you do it. Super easy, super quick. You don't have to spend any kind of money. You just got to actually get to the arbor. Alright, our next tip. If you are trying to upgrade your equipment and have no idea where to find the materials at to do it, I'm going to show you how to do that. If you've got a pawn with the Forager perk, you can actually search where you can find the materials at on the map. Okay, it's going to be really cool. So make sure you've got a pawn that has the Forager perk. You open up your map. In the bottom right there, you can see it says search. I can either scroll over each material and I can choose A and it'll tell me exactly what it is I can get for that area. Or, let me see, I go over there, that one has Minotaur Horn there. This one's got, that's Rattler Rock Scale. This one's got Gold Scale. Or in the bottom right, it says I can use search. I can search, and it's got a bunch of different stuff I can filter out on the map here. I go all the way over to materials, and I can choose between me and my pawn Megami, and it will actually tell me where I can find the materials at. So it does not seem to work on the first step of an upgrade, because that first step is just gold. So unless it's at the next step, obviously you can't search for it. You can't search for gold. However, if you go to me, all of my gear is already ready for the next step. So all these have been forged with just a regular gold already. So let's go to my Little Worm Fang. I open it up. It says I need Bolt Scale. And this will actually show me all the places on the map I can get Bolt Scale at. You can see, I just scroll down to them. All these areas have the monsters that have bulk skill. I also got dragon skill too. I'm going to need this. And this is for all the different kinds of forging too. You can see there the Remedian forging, which is your base forging, needs bolt skill. If you go to the Batal, you can see Drake skill. We got the Elvin, it needs bolt skill and Drake skill. So that's how you actually search for what it is you need to forge materials and how to find them. Just to prove it, I go to another item here. This again needs more bolt skill. Now most of these that I've got equipped are going to be all pretty much the same stuff I need because it's all, you know, the in-game dragon armor. But that's how you find this stuff. So make sure you got yourself a pond with forger on it and go ahead and go out and get you the materials that you need. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, now the next tip and trick, this is going to be how to make some money pretty quickly in the game. Now this one is a lot more well known. I'm not necessarily as proud of this one, but gold is kind of hard to come by. And I got a little bit of a twist on the tip too. There's two ways you can really make money. One is going to be coming here, just west of Batal. There is the Digger's Ruin. So what you want to do is come here with several ponds. And you're actually going to look for the coal that is in the... Let me actually get past this. You're going to be picking up basically all the coal that's in this cave. Now you can actually see right here. There you go. We got some glimmer coal right there. You're basically going to go throughout the entire cave and pick up all the glimmer coal you see. Now, just because you pick up one piece does not mean that chunk is done. So you see I picked up a piece, but there's still more on the ground. And you see when I readjust my camera, I can actually pick it up again. So as long as you actually see the glimmer coal there, a chunk of it, you can actually pick that up. So it's not like when you mine how there's kind of a leftover chunk of that leftover. No, you pick up all the glimmer coal in this cave. Now there's two different items in here. There's glimmer coal and there's like a rare version of it as well. It tells for a little bit more. There we go. Now, I don't particularly like going through and doing that just because I hate sitting there gathering items like that. I like to go out and actually do stuff. And I typically don't have enough time to kind of just sit there and go through the cave and do that over and over again. But if you go through the cave and pick up all the glimmer coal, you're going to fill up all three of your ponds and yourself. In fact, you might even be overweight. But when you sell everything, you're going to have a little bit over 30,000. The other way you can go ahead and make money is, and this is going to really depend on whether or not you want to waste the crystals or not, but Worm Life crystals sell for 1,500 each. So if you want to sell those bad boys, you can see right now with 72, I get over 108,000 gold just with those. So it's only about 2, maybe 3 dragons worth right there. Granted, I would suggest go ahead and making sure you get your armor and weapons that you want first. And then afterwards, if you don't really care about anything else, you know, using the Worm's Life crystals for anything, go ahead and sell them if you don't want them for anything else. So now that's something I would say you probably want to do at the very, very end game. Like I said, once you've gotten everything else you want, once you've dragon forged everything, once you've done all that, you got no other use for Worm's Life crystals, go ahead and sell them. Or if you're just really desperate for money, go ahead and sell them. Like I said, 1.5 thousand each. I can make a ton of gold right now selling these things. So that's the other way you can go ahead and make some quick money. Alright, for this next tip, I have to give credit to a Redditor who I will tell you who it is in just a second. But this is going to be for those who are having trouble finding their first secret token. For those who don't know, first off, if you remember where you got your first secret token at, remember that. But this is going to be a bit of a spoiler. There's going to be a Sphinx riddle. It's going to say, hey, find where you picked up your first secret token, and that's what you got to go. You got to go get it for a riddle. There's going to be a finder token there. The problem is, if you don't remember where your first token was, it's going to be almost impossible to find it. Now, yeah, it's probably one of these starting areas, but it can be a real pain in the butt to find it. In fact, it turns out the first one I picked up wasn't even until later on in the game. I would have never remembered that, except I just happened to come across it. So, how do you find where your original secret token is? Well, I can't tell you that. I can tell you something I found out, though. Now, this comes from the Redditor, and I'm going to bring him up here. There we go. So this is from the Redditor, TheFoodSlut, and they say, basically, and they test it, and I tested this, that basically, you can have other players trade you forgeries of their finder's token. So what happens is, that very first spot where you find a secret token, when you go back there will be a finder's token there for the Sphinx riddle. You can forge that and turn it in, and it counts for the Sphinx. I did it myself. Now, later on, I actually went and actually found my finder's token. But you can see right here, I did a forgery of it. I'm going to pull it up now. Take forgery. I've got 2 finder's tokens. There we go. Go open it up now. So, usually when you forge anything, it's going to have like a weird part in his name, like it doesn't quite work. Like, for example, if you try to forge a fairy stone, it'll say Ferri stone, and it's not going to work. However, the finder's token, it's just a straight finder's token. This works for the Sphinx. So, My suggestion is, if you found your finder's token, go ahead and make some forgeries of that thing. And I say, let's go into all the videos we can. Let's go into all the comment sections, all the Reddit posts, everything that we can about people looking for the Sphinx. And let's normalize forging our finder's tokens and giving them to people as random rewards for pawns. Now, I'm not saying go to YouTube channels and say, hey, Venom said to come here and he's pimping out his video, go check it out. No, I'm not saying that. Don't be a dick. I don't want you to go to other people's videos, say, hey, check out this video. No, I am saying go to their comment section and mention, hey, you can actually forge your finder's token and give those out to other players. And just like I'm going to do in the next one, you can actually search for people giving out finder's tokens. You can actually go online, Google, hey, giving out finder's tokens with pawns. You can have your friends forge your finder's tokens, whatever it is you need to do, but you can basically duplicate legitimately these finder's tokens in game, and they work for the Sphinx riddle. So if you haven't turned yours in yet, go ahead and start duplicating it, with the forgery. If you have not, go ahead and get online, Google it, and see if you can find yourself someone who's got a finder's token that they're giving away. All right, next tip. Now, I went over this one briefly, and I think it was the dragon video I put out, but here's one that's going to be for monsters in general. For bigger monsters, if you don't like the drops you get, when you kill your monster, save the game first before you start looting it. So here I got a dragon I just killed, okay? We're going to look at the drops I got off of it. So we got some dragon scales, some warm life crystals, dragon scales, okay? I got 4 different drops, okay? I don't really like it. I'd rather have the crystals personally. So I saved before I did that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to return a title without saving. I'm going to reload, and then when I then loot them again, I'm going to have different items. So you can basically choose what drops you want. You can reload. In fact, what I typically do when I kill a dragon is I go ahead and loot it. If I get crystals, I save again, loot it again. If I get more crystals, I'll save. If I get scales, then I'll go ahead and reload it, depending on what it is I want. Sometimes I need scales, sometimes I need crystals. Typically crystals, especially with all of the testing I do for these videos. So here we go. We're reloading now. So remember, scale, crystal, scales we got before. Let's see what we got this time. Here's our body. Now it does move, so don't freak out if your body's not there. It's somewhere. There we go. This time we got crystal, scale. So this time we got, first time it was scale, crystal, scale. This time we got crystal, scale. Let's go ahead and reload again just to prove that it's not just going to be, 3 sets of scales and 1 set of crystals. I'm going to go ahead and load up one more time, or at least a couple more times, till I show you guys that it is actually legitimately going to be a whole different set of drops. There we go. We got crystal, scale, that one. So go ahead and he picked something up. So go ahead and save before or after you get a kill, save before you loot it. And then that way you can choose exactly what it is that you get. Finally, I'm going to talk about the Ring of Endeavor. It is probably the most sought after items that you get from these secret tokens. It takes over 200 tokens, that is a lot of tokens, to get the Ring of Endeavor, and it helps you level up your vocation. The problem is, and a lot of people have noticed, is that by the time you get your ring, you probably already got your vocations pretty well leveled up. Now, yeah, you're going to need to level up all the rest of your vocations probably, but it's going to help, if you get that a lot sooner. The thing is that it takes over 200 secret tokens to get that. That is way too many. There is another way to get the Ring of Endeavor, and it is community driven, okay? It is going to be searching for pawns that actually give the Ring of Endeavor. Now, this is going to be one that's going to be more community driven. You're going to have to Google this on your own, but there are people that give out Rings of Endeavors along with some other items. You can actually search the pawn search to see if anyone's giving that out, and I'm going to show you here. So I actually Googled it up. I've currently looked for somebody who was giving out Rings of Endeavor right now. I'm going to go ahead and search for pawn, and I've got the code right here. Now this code may change. This is currently being given out by Redditor. I'm not going to say who they are right now because I did not have permission to give them that. But again, just Google it, see if you got if anyone's giving any out. I'm going to go ahead and paste the code here, and go ahead and search, and boom, you can see right here, he is giving out the Ring of Endeavor on his pawn. Now you can see what the pawn quest is. All you gotta do is hire that pawn, assuming you have enough crystals to hire them. So if it's a super high level, you won't be able to do it. This is a lower one. But what people basically do is they will start an account or start a game. They will get an item. They will set it up as a reward for a pawn quest. They will make their hard save. They will set up the reward, and then they'll do their soft save. They will basically let that character sit, okay? That way many people can hire it out, and then when they're ready to play back on that character again, they will load from that in again before they technically hire that pawn out with that ring. And then that's how people are doing this. So right now, that's how we're able to get more Rings of Endeavor. And to prove that I've got them, I'm going to show you right here. I've currently got, actually let me get out of the rift here so I can actually prove I've got them. Right now, I've currently got 2 Rings of Endeavor equipped because I got 2 rings from pawns from the Rift. And it proved that I did not get the rings from having secret tokens because I've only found like a couple of them. Or I'll say a couple. It's been like maybe 20. Let me show you guys the location, trader here, and prove to you that I don't have, I have got a terrible sense of direction here. There we go. Here's the location vendor. I'm going to show you the secret tokens and show you I have not cleaned my ring yet. There we go. Secret tokens. View rewards. Boom. I've only gotten up to rank 5. So my ring of endeavor right there, 220. I have not claimed it yet. I've gotten both of my rings from the vendor, or from the pawns. Now I did try to take one and try to duplicate it using the forger. It did not work. It's not even an option that pops up, so you cannot forge armor or rings. I did try to do that. It does not work, so keep that one in mind. But the ring of endeavor, you can't get that way. So, like I said, I did not claim mine in this save. I got 2 rings of endeavor. They do stack, and I gotta imagine that there are other items being given out as well too. I'm looking to see if there is some kind of like a pawn item exchange somewhere right now. I've seen a couple kind of started up, but they haven't really gone too far yet. I will let you guys know if I find one that we can actually go through and see what items are being given away. So far, it looks like the items you can give away for pawns are pretty substantial. I think you'd be surprised at what you can get. And just like the last tip I showed you, things like the Finder's tokens, I mean, those are going to be some pretty hard to get and pretty sought after items that are also given away by the community. So this is a pretty big one. If you want that Ring of Endeavor, go ahead and check this out. Like I said, you saw the code I put in there. As for PC, go ahead and search, PS5, pawns giving away Ring of Endeavor. That's what I searched for. I did mine for Steam. Steam, so giving away Ring of Endeavor on my pawn. Look for some recent ones, and that's what you're going to find. Same with the Finder's token. Alright, and that's going to do it, guys. Those are my tips and tricks. I see a lot of videos that put out the same tips and tricks. I don't want to put out the same ones mostly. Yeah, the money one is one that a lot of people know, but that's one you kind of see a lot. People want to know how to make money pretty quickly in the game. That is how I make money when I absolutely need to. I typically just get a lot just kind of going through and playing and doing all my testing. But the rest of them, hopefully those tips and tricks are ones you do not know or ones that will help you out a lot, especially the ones for the Finder tokens and for that ring. So hopefully those will really, really help you out. Those are 2 of the big things that I saw when people were having issues with the game. The token was a big one, and then people not wanting to spend all that time getting the secret tokens. In fact, I did not get to use that ring during my testing when I did the experience test because I was like, I'm going to have to gather up 220 secret tokens. I was actually preparing to spend the entire day doing nothing but looking for secret tokens. Luckily, I didn't have to do that. I do not want to have to get that many tokens to unlock the ring. Now that I've got 2 rings, I'm probably never going to go ahead and get all those tokens. I've got no reason to, unless there's another item on that list I need. And if there is, I'll probably go ahead and use that, use a pawn search function to see if I can find somebody who was actually giving that away. So, that being said, thank you for coming by. Again, thank you for the love and support. We are now over 300 subscribers. I actually started this channel several years ago. Back when Destiny 2 had just come out, and then I stopped making videos like a month after that. Had I stuck to that, I probably would be much, much bigger than I was, but I've come back, and as you can see, I'm trying to stick to making videos, at least a couple times a week. I've been making them every day here recently, but I'm trying to stick to doing this because I actually want to build a community. I want to actually try to make this channel something good for people, something to where they can go for information and actually put out information that's not just being regurgitated by everybody else too. So I actually do typically go and I get deep into games. Oftentimes I have a lot of different thoughts. I have a lot of different ways I can make money or get experience or just different things I can do in games that I don't typically see talked about. In my head, I'm like, hey, I can make a video about that, and I didn't do it. Now I'm actually doing that. So really glad to be back. And again, thank you so much for the support you guys have been giving me. I love it. Again, I am working on that new intro. I did take your guys's your comments to heart. I am making a shorter a shorter intro that is a much quieter intro. I could just do my videos without an intro, but I do want to have just a small one on there. A friend of mine actually, that is actually a licensed soundtrack. A friend of mine actually made that for me. It is licensed just to me and my channel. And I want to go ahead and use that. He is a good friend of mine, and when he's ready, I'll go ahead and put some more information out for him because he is a music producer. But I don't want to just not use that. I will make it a very, very quick intro though, probably just a couple of seconds. So I will go ahead and do that just so that I kind of have a brand for my channel. But I am taking your comments to heart, so I'm not going to have the longer intro, and I'm going to tone down the volume a little bit. So yeah, that's gonna do it for today, guys. Again, thank you for the support. If you like it, like it. If you loved it, sub, and I will see you guys on the next video.